Alright, hi everybody, so today's video is going to be the review of episode 3 of season 7 of Once Upon a Time. It's called Garden of Forking Paths. It's an interesting title. So I'm going to do a haul video after this. It's just because I bought mostly pop figures. It's going to be just a pop figure haul. I'm just going to show you the two other items I got. I didn't really get anything else. But the first item actually is a Once Upon a Time item, and it's the first Once Upon a Time graphic novel. It's called Shadow of the Queen. So this is mostly about the Evil Queen and the Huntsman, and then Snow White and Red. So it's these four characters that focus on the most. I noticed as I was skimming through it, the art styles are different for each chapter. I guess they use different artists. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm gonna have to look at it more, but I will review this. I did find that this is a used copy, and this is in great condition compared to the one I bought before of the second graphic novel that came out, which is right here, out of the past. This one had like food stains on it and highlighter markings. This isn't in very good condition. I wasn't pleased with it, but this one I think is a harder one to find than that one. So I'm gonna keep this for a while until I can find one in a better condition that didn't have food on it. But yeah, I gotta review this too. And then of course they had the 4 different character stories, so that's really cool. And I also got a figural keyring. I was at Hot Topic, that's where I bought most of the pops, and then I bought this. I had 2 bags of this and a plush. I had to take off 1 bag and a plush because it was getting too expensive. Even with my discounts that I had like coupon, like $5 off, like 3 of them. And then the pops were like 3 for $27 or something like that. So, but I'll just go back and get more of these. These are Peter Pan figural keyrings. So you can get Peter, Tinkerbell, Wendy, John, Michael, Smee, TikTok, which is the crocodile, 2 of the Lost Boys. Their names are Toodles and Chubby. Another, it looks like another Tinkerbell, and then the Captain Hook. So I'm gonna open it now before I do my review. I can open it. Apparently you can't. I'm gonna use my. Haha. I know. I got Peter Pan. Check it out. Cool. I don't know if I should give this to my sister, who's a huge Peter Pan fan, or if I should keep it and then see if I get a double. Decisions. I'll decide. Okay, so let's get on to the review. This episode was, I think, it's a Cinderella episode, more focused on Cinderella's backstory / Lady Tremaines. The characters that weren't in the episode were Drusilla and Alice. They didn't show up in this episode. They're not, I guess, series regulars. They're just excuse me. I don't know why that happened. They're just guest starring. Sorry. They're just guest starring, the 2 actresses that play Alice and Drusilla. So that's why they weren't in this episode. They're not gonna be in every single episode this season. So that's interesting. This episode was okay. It was okay. It's kind of like the first episode. Again, there's a lot of similarities to things that happened in season 1, like, you know, Lucy and Henry going down into the, it's not a mine, but it's like Henry and Archie in the mine in season 1, which is like, well, I've already seen that. That stuff was kind of boring because, you know, it was something we've already seen before. I think they could have done something else. I'm wondering though if that's where Lady Tremaine was hiding, not the glass slipper, but as we find out what it is. But I think that's where she was hiding what it was. But I want to kind of go into some of the other things. We also, what else is similar to season 1? Well, might as well go ahead and talk about that, right? Because that's what's kind of similar. Is Lady Tremaine reason for hating Cinderella is that she blames Cinderella for the death of her other daughter, Anastasia, kind of like how Regina, or the Evil Queen, blamed Snow White for the death of Daniel. The only difference is this time it's, you know, a child that's been lost instead of a lover. So that's similar, and that's what I think was in that. It wasn't a mine though, so I'm not sure what we're calling that. Henry said it was like old parts of the city, you know, or the old city. So I guess in the old city that was underground is where Anastasia's body was probably kept. I'm assuming that's why she was digging there, because she didn't seem too mad that they saved the garden. I guess as long as she got the body out was all that mattered. So the reasoning is because of a loved one that's been lost. So that's kind of the same. The only difference is instead of it being a romantic love, it's, you know, a child that's been lost. So it's slightly different, but still very similar. What else? There's a lot of, you know, well, I guess, you know, Lady Tremaine wanting to, or Victoria in the real world as she's known, wanting to tear down the garden, kind of like Regina was going to tear down the mine. That type of thing is a little similar. But other than that, you know, those little bits were kind of because again, we've seen it before. I am curious as to how Anastasia died, though. I mean, we got to see how Daniel died because Cora ripped out his heart. So I'm curious to see how Anastasia died. I guess we're gonna find out later, maybe? I don't know. Another thing that's interesting is how this curse is working. It seems like if the characters start questioning things or starting to, like Henry, you know, couldn't find the grave of his wife and child. Now he was able to find it, and it looked like Henry, like the curse was breaking for Henry a little bit. Now it looks like it's been brought back. So this curse looks like it's working a little differently. I'm not sure if that really is the case, or if it's just maybe I didn't really notice. Maybe Henry wasn't losing the curse or breaking the curse or anything, or remembering. I'm just being hopeful. I don't know. That scene was really sad, though. That was a very sad scene when you see Andrew J. West in the cemetery. That scene was sad. He's a very good actor. I really like Andrew J. West as the older Henry. I think he's doing a great job. Cinderella in this episode, so we learn that why she's hated, and she obviously feels very guilty. So you know, I still am curious to see why Anastasia died. I don't know what happened. I guess, like I said, we'll find out later. And we learned that Lady Tremaine is the one that actually killed her father, not the prince from the first episode. So now, you know, that's why Cinderella hates her. Again, I'm not too thrilled with the acting from Dania. I think that's how you say it. Dania. I think it's Dania. Dania Ramirez's acting. I mean, it was a little bit better in this episode than the last two, but I'm still not feeling her. I don't know what it is, but I'm not feeling her as Cinderella. Maybe she should have played a different character. Who knows? But I'm not feeling her as Cinderella still. Lucy in this episode was, Lucy was in this episode a bit more. You know, she kind of took a little backseat in the second episode, which makes sense because she is a child. And usually with child actors, they have very limited hours on set, which is why you'll notice, like, in the early seasons, Henry wasn't in a lot, and then as the show progressed and as Jared Gilmore got older, he started doing a bit more and more gradually because he was getting older and he was able to do more. So this is obviously an episode where they wanted Allison Fernandez in it a bit more than they did in the last one. Lucy's okay. I mean, I feel like she's these two kids though, like even Henry as a child was really like smart and everything, and very understanding of certain situations. So I don't know, many kids are like that, but who knows? But she's okay. Um, I think Allison I was gonna say Allison Hannigan. That's Willow from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I don't know what I'm saying. Allison Fernandez, I think, is doing a pretty good job though as Lucy. She's growing on me. I'm kind of liking Lucy. What else? Let's see. Poor Robert Carlyle. Still not getting to do much. I mean, he's gonna get to do a lot more in the next episode because that's the Rumple and Belle episode. It's called Beauty. He's gonna get to do way more in that episode, but I was like really hoping that he was gonna get to do more as we were progressing, because he was one of the actors that they really wanted to stay on the show. So I'm hoping, like, even after next week episode, that we're gonna get to see a bit more of Robert Carlyle. I hope. And even Lana Parrilla didn't have she had more scenes in this episode than she did in the first two, for sure. So, like, even all three of our returning stars, other than, Colin O'Donoghue had more in the second episode because that was the Hook episode. But even in this one, he wasn't in as many scenes. Although that opening scene was pretty funny, where Henry brings the donuts. I like that. That scene was good. I think Rogers is interesting versus Hook because he's very, like, by the book cop. You can tell he wants to do the right thing. He believes in, justice and things like that. So it's very interesting to see that side of Captain Hook. I'm liking that. I have noticed, I don't know if they're gonna try and do a new ship with Hook and Tiana. I hope not. And this isn't me as a Captain Swan fan talking. This is me as a fan of Prince Naveen. I love Prince Naveen in Princess and the Frog. I thought he was a great male character, and I was so excited for Tiana. I'm still excited for Tiana because this is the first time she's been done in a live action form, and was looking forward to Prince Naveen. But if they're gonna try and do Hook as her love interest, then that means no Naveen, which to me is really sad because so far, with the Disney princesses at least, they've mostly done their version. Aladdin's with Jasmine, Eric's with Ariel, Kristoff's with Anna, Snow and Cinderella, Philip's with Aurora. Snow White and Cinderella, their princess had the most room to play around with because if you've watched the Disney version, they're not really fully fledged out characters. They kind of had like a song, So This Is Love, or the prince in Snow White came in. I can't remember how the song went off the top of my head, and I actually don't know the name. It's I'm Wishing. That's when Snow White's singing in the well, and then he rides his horse in, climbs the wall, starts singing with her. That that's literally all he did, and then comes back at the end of the movie and kisses her awake. So for Once Upon a Time, they had a bit more room to play around with those two characters, but at the end of the day, Snow White and Cinderella at least still ended up with a form of that character, whereas it looks like we're not going to get to see Naveen, which is really, really sad. I really like Naveen. I really want Naveen to come in. I'm hoping, like, maybe it's not going to become a ship. I don't know. Maybe it's just the fans putting them together and not the writers. Please let Naveen come in. I know there's been a male casting, so maybe that guy is Naveen. Please let him be Naveen. I want Naveen so bad. I thought the character was great in the movie. I would love to see a live action version of Prince Naveen. I think he's so important because he's not the first non-white Disney prince. He's the second one because the first one is Aladdin. But I think he's still super, super important because he was in the first Black Princess movie. So I think it's important to try and keep, Tiana and Naveen together for that very reason. And they're a great couple, though. I mean, look at, if you've watched Princess of the Frog, they were a great couple, and I want to see that played out in a live action form, because I don't know when we're gonna get a live action Princess and the Frog from Disney, if ever. I don't, it wasn't very popular of a movie. I know that Tiana and Naveen, the characters are popular, especially Tiana merchandising wise, but the movie itself wasn't popular. So I'm hoping that Hook and Tiana aren't a new couple, please. Naveen, Naveen, Naveen. Naveen. I want Naveen so bad. And then what else? Some people have been talking about the costumes on the show. I mean, obviously Hook's costume is literally the same costume we wore, in the show the past 6 years. I like Henry's costume. It does look very much like Charming's costumes. Which I think is what they're going for, because they're trying to make Cinderella and Henry like Snow and Charming. Which I don't know about that. I kind of think they should be their own couple. I don't think all couples should be exactly like Snow and Charming. But that's just my opinion. But I do think his outfits look like Charming's, but the princess outfits aren't that good. I don't know what's going on there. I still think, it's the blue of the Cinderella dress, because it doesn't work with her skin tone. I think they should have found maybe a different blue to work with their skin tone. I think that would have been better. Also, I was hoping Tiana would wear green. Oh well. Maybe she'll wear one later in her backstory episode. We'll see. And then of course, Tiana's running the Resistance. I'm waiting for, Poe and Leia to show up, because that's what it's called in Star Wars. It's called the Resistance now instead of the Rebel Alliance. I'm like, you had to take the name from Star Wars? Really? I thought that was funny. I mean, I know like the writers are really big Star Wars fans, but you probably should have came up with a different name for the movement. Not the Rebellion, because again, Star Wars, and probably not the Resistance. Especially since there's a new episode coming out where we're gonna learn, I guess, a bit more about the Resistance. But that's just a little nitpickiness right there. I mean, I guess they can call it the Resistance all they want. What else? What else about this episode? I think that's really it. I mean, it was an okay episode. Oh, the ending. Emma Booth is an actress. She was just cast as a witch, and we don't know which witch. I'm gonna say she's not a new Wicked Witch of the West, kind of like there's the new Cinderella. I think she's the Wicked Witch of the East, though. I think that's who she is, because there's two Wicked Witches in the Wizard of Oz storyline. There's West and East, and there's, Glinda, the Good Witch of the North, and I'm gonna assume there's a Good Witch of the South, but maybe she's a bad witch too. Who knows? I haven't watched. Well, they don't really say it in the movies about the South, but in the book, I think they do. And I haven't read the book in a really, 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 really long time ago. I haven't read any of the other books there, because it's a series of books, and I haven't read any of them. I've only read the first one. Sorry, I know I'm bad, but I'm getting there. I got so many books to read. Long, very, very, very long list of books to read. Yeah, but yeah, I think she's really interesting. I know some people weren't, like, because it was a very out of the blue scene, but I think I'm really interested in that character. I want to know more about her. I love that hair. That hair is weird. But I think she could be the Wicked Witch of these. Some people said Mother Gothel, because they are redoing Rapunzel. That'd be interesting. I thought Mother Gothel was a good villain in Tangled, so maybe she is Mother Gothel. That'd be cool too. Either way, I hope we find out more, but we're probably not gonna know until episode 10, so that's like 7 episodes away. Oh, and that's probably not until next year, I think, because they're not gonna show any episodes in December, I heard. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, this episode was okay. I'd give it a C. on a rating. First episode a D, second episode a B, this one a C. Definitely a C. And then I'll be back next week for the Rumple and Belle episode. I don't know if Belle's gonna be in it a lot though. I mean, because Emma wasn't in her episode a lot, so I guess we'll see. It's a Halloween episode. That's cool. I always loved the Halloween episodes of Buffy and Charmed, so I'm really excited for a Halloween episode. And I'm really curious about Alice. What is her deal? How does she know Rumple? And is Rumple awake? We'll find out next week, and I'll see you then. Bye.